You want to park uphill on a two-way road and there is no curb. Which direction do you turn your front wheels? A. Straight ahead. B. Right, toward the side of the road. C. Left, toward the center of the road. B. Right, toward the side of the road. When parking either uphill or downhill on a road that has no curb, you should turn your wheels so that the vehicle will roll away from the center of the road if the brakes fail. The best way to tell if you are permitted to pass another vehicle is to see if A. There is a flashing green light ahead. B. The road ahead is straight. C. The vehicle ahead signals that it is okay to pass. D. There are solid or broken lane markings. D. There are solid or broken lane markings. The presence of solid or broken lane markings down the center of a road is the best indication of whether or not passing is permitted in an area. On a two-lane highway, you may not pass another vehicle if your lane is directly next to a solid line. You may not pass within 100 feet of an intersection. The risk of hydroplaning can be reduced by driving A. Through shallow water. B. More quickly. C. More slowly. D. Through deep water. C. More slowly. Because hydroplaning is caused by driving too quickly in wet conditions, the risk of it happening can be reduced by driving more slowly. You have the right of way when turning left on which of the following traffic signals? A. A solid green light. B. A flashing yellow light. C. A green arrow pointing left. D. A flashing red light. C. A green arrow pointing left. A green steady arrow means you may pass through the intersection in the direction that the arrow is pointing. Oncoming traffic is required to stop for turning traffic.
Want to ace your DMV test? Click on the link below and get your guaranteed cheat sheet.
Cell phones can be a serious source of driver distractions. A. True. B. False. A. True. When on the road, drivers should not use cell phones, computers, or other distracting devices, except to report a crash or emergency. Your full attention should be devoted to driving. This sign means A. No left turn. B. Flagger ahead. C. Two-way left turn. D. Turn right or go through. A. No left turn. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. This regulation sign means that left turns are prohibited. When approaching a four-way stop, drivers must yield the right of way to all motorists who arrived before them. A. True. B. False. A. True. At a four-way stop, you must yield the right of way to drivers who arrived before you. Wait your turn to enter the intersection. This road sign means A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. B. The road ahead turns sharply left, then right. C. The road ahead curves to the left. D. Construction ahead. A. The road ahead turns sharply right, then left. This sign indicates that the road ahead will turn sharply to the right and then to the left. There may be times when 10 miles per hour is too fast for drivers to safely operate their vehicles. A. True. B. False. A. True. Drive below the posted speed limit when safety demands it. Some traffic, weather, or visibility conditions may require you to drive as slowly as 10 miles per hour. A seat belt should be adjusted so that it A. is loose, B. is buckled snugly across your hip bones and lower abdomen, C. is hidden beneath the seat, D. keeps the seat belt buzzer or light from operating. While driving on a roadway with a single broken white centerline, A. you must stay within your lane. B. you may cross the centerline to change lanes. C. you may change lanes only from the left lane. B. you may cross the centerline to change lanes. White lines between lanes indicate that the lanes are traveling in the same direction. Broken white line markings indicate that it is legal to pass another vehicle when safe. Which of the following are factors commonly contributing to traffic crashes? A. exceeding the posted speed limit and driving too fast for conditions or circumstances. B. getting adequate rest and staying alert. C. scanning the environment and staying focused on the driving task. A. exceeding the posted speed limit and driving too fast for conditions or circumstances. Driving above the speed limit, driving too far below the speed limit, and driving too fast for conditions are all actions that commonly contribute to traffic accidents. Always drive with the general flow of traffic, within legal speed limits. Excessive speed. A. does not increase the chance of a crash. B. increases your ability to react to a hazard. C. often leads to high-risk decision-making. Which of the following are used on some highways to direct drivers into the proper lanes for turning? A. flashing red lights. B. flashing yellow lights. C. white lines on the side of the road. D. white arrows in the middle of the lanes. D. white arrows in the middle of the lanes. Arrows may be used to indicate which lanes should be used for specific purposes, such as driving straight or making a turn. This sign means A. you can travel in either direction in this lane. B. there is two-way traffic. C. you are approaching a divided highway. B. there is two-way traffic. This sign warns of two-way traffic. When parking uphill next to a curb, set the parking brake and A. keep the rear tires against the curb. B. keep the front tires straight ahead. C. turn your steering wheel away from the curb. D. turn your steering wheel toward the curb. C. turn your steering wheel away from the curb. When parking facing uphill on a street that has a curb, set your parking brake and turn your steering wheel away from the curb. This way, if your vehicle starts to roll, it will roll into the curb. If you come to an intersection controlled by a flashing yellow light, you must A. wait for the green light before proceeding. B. slow down and cross the intersection carefully. C. stop before crossing the intersection. B. slow down and cross the intersection carefully. A flashing yellow traffic light means drivers must slow down, be more aware, and proceed with caution. Be alert to crossing traffic and pedestrians. When approaching a steady red traffic light, drivers should A. Drive through the intersection if there is no crossing traffic. B. Continue driving, as they have the right of way. C. Stop only if a police officer is nearby. D. Come to a complete stop. D. Come to a complete stop. A steady red traffic light indicates that drivers must come to a complete stop. Driving through a red light is against the law and is extremely dangerous. Drivers may turn right on a steady red light if there is no sign prohibiting a turn on red. If you find that the roadway ahead of you is flooded, you should A. Slam on the brakes. B. Not drive through the flooded area. Turn around and find another route. C. Drive only in the center of the roadway. B. Not drive through the flooded area. Turn around and find another route. Never attempt to drive on a flooded road. Even if the water looks shallow, it may hide many kinds of hazards. If you encounter a flooded area, turn around and seek another route to your destination. This sign means A. Divided highway ends. B. One-way traffic ahead. C. Two-way traffic ahead. D. Keep to the right. D. Keep to the right. This sign indicates that you must keep to the right of the upcoming divider. If you are driving and the rear end of your car starts skidding to the left, you should A. Steer to the right. B. Steer to the left. C. Tap your brakes lightly and shift into neutral. B. Steer to the left. If your vehicle enters a skid, you should take your foot off of the brake and steer in the direction that you want to go. For example, if the rear of your vehicle is skidding to the left, you should steer to the left. This will help bring the front of the vehicle in line with the rear, thereby straightening out the vehicle's overall direction. Always signal when A. Changing lanes. B. Pulling into or out of a parking space. C. Pulling into traffic from a parking area or alley. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Your turn signals should always be used when you make any movement to the left or right. You should use your signal when pulling into traffic from a curbside parking space, moving into a new lane, or passing another vehicle. When should drivers yield the right of way to pedestrians in a crosswalk? A. Only if the pedestrians first wave to the driver. B. Only if the pedestrians are not texting while walking. C. At all times. C. At all times. Bring your vehicle to a complete stop at a crosswalk to yield the right of way to any vehicle or pedestrian already in the intersection. You may carefully proceed if your lane is completely clear. This sign indicates A. The distance from road surface to a bridge or overpass. B. The maximum legal height of a vehicle allowed in this state. C. The maximum width of a vehicle allowed on the highway. A. The distance from road surface to a bridge or overpass. This is a low clearance warning sign. It indicates the distance from the road surface to the bottom of a bridge or overpass, in this case, 12 feet, 6 inches. This sign means A. No U-turn. B. Two-way left turn. C. Minimum speed limit. D. No parking. A. No U-turn. Regulation signs regulate traffic speed and movement, displaying rules which drivers must obey. Wherever this regulation sign is posted, U-turns are not permitted.